May I have your attention, please? This is the captain speaking out of XRP office, and we're gonna get back right into a new video regarding XRP's future potential, if it's worth right now to invest, and if there might be an opportunity right now to make some spicy leverage trades. This and much more we're gonna cover in today's video, so stay tuned folks, and if you don't mind, please leave a like and a subscription, and if you really like my content, then you can even enable the bell. There is not too much content coming anyways on the channel, so it doesn't hurt very much. Well, apart from that, let's get right into XRP. Why is XRP a good opportunity for investing right now, in my opinion? And furthermore, how are we gonna use it? What is the best point for investing? What is gonna be the best opportunity to sell it? I swear to you folks, this is not scripted or anything. It's really just coincidence that Dennis just a week ago produced a very similar video tackling XRP's potential right now, because there is a lot of confusion on the market. People don't even know what to do right now, even to sell XRP, or if they are not invested yet, to buy it right now. Like, is it worth it? Is it too late? Is it too expensive to invest right now? Should I wait for the next dip, or should I get into it right now before it takes off? And I don't know, can I confidently just get into a long position right now, and so on and so forth. There is a lot of stuff going on in the XRP space, in the crypto space overall. I mean, Bitcoin just exploded to 110k. It dropped a little bit, but that's normal. It really just acquired 111k and thereby hit a new all-time high. So right now everybody's going crazy. So let's tackle what has come up step by step. First of all, XRP, how high can it go? Is there any indicator for it to take off, or when it's gonna happen? Like, how long do we have to wait? And I can give you a pretty precise timeline, which is, just to give some credit to him as well, very similar to the one that Dennis has come up with, because that is very logical, because this is the XRP BTC chart, okay? And of course, XRP has come down quite a bit as Bitcoin has exploded now over the last few days and weeks, while XRP has remained mostly stagnant. And what we see here is pretty much the result of this type of outcome. Now, take a look folks. For everybody who is asking for trading in particular, please stick with me right now. This red rectangle is a very famous entry zone for XRP long positions. For example, as it was, for example, in late 2024, in late November, early December, whatever, that was an insane opportunity, and now retrospectively, you all know that. And to get into it next time, before it already happened, stick with it. Whenever XRP re-enters that zone, which is not very likely to happen because it would include like virtually a 30% drop from here. So we dropped already. XRP compared to Bitcoin has to lose another 30% of value for it to hit this magic zone. But if this case occurs, it would likely mean that Bitcoin at least retained its strength at 110k, or even came up more and hit new all-time highs, while XRP remained stagnant or respectively fell down to like 180, 185, 190. And whenever that case occurs, we're gonna have a very safe entry zone and a very good trade setup. Meaning that long position would not only be very safe to play out as we want it to, but that would also mean like an insane risk to reward ratio, because that take profit, we could basically set it as high as we want. We could not only set it up as high as the last high in November was, that is neat, and that's also the safer setup, but we could push it even higher. If we compare it to like old highs, we have come much higher in the past. I'm not gonna say, well, we get up to this degree again, but we could see something cooking here with XRP. And regarding the stop loss, we can really just push it right below that zone, because we are quite certain that XRP is not gonna drop below 150 again or whatever. But if you want to be a bit safer, you can push it down a bit. I would put it up on here, about like quadruple 0, double 1. This would be my target, and then you get just a 7.5 risk reward ratio, which is insane. Please take that, folks. Please keep an eye on that chart. There's really something cooking. But also on the XRP USD chart, which is not that insane, but still there came up a quite interesting pattern over the course of the last weeks or months, which is like an interesting consolidation, which we saw often with XRP. Like the recent breakout in November was the result of a multi-year consolidation. So we can be quite certain that this type of chart pattern is very powerful when it's paired with XRP. To just get it straight to the point, what it actually means is that we got lower highs and higher lows following up over months or even years. As I said, right now we're speaking of months, like from early December up on now, which is whenever you watch it, end of May or early June. So about 6 months, there was not much happening on the XRP chart. But as you see, we face the end of this consolidating triangle, which is going to be in more or less 3-4 weeks, when the latest we're going to see a decision whether the chart explodes or it's going to fall down. I am 90% convinced that XRP is of course going to break out like to the upside, not only because we're facing the cycle top, which is like really around the corner right now, like July or August the latest. I expect us to see the highest crypto values of all time. It could go higher a bit later, but that is unknown. I guess it's gonna go higher. It's gonna break our last all-time high for sure. So we're gonna have about a 2x, maybe 3x later. Let's take a look at the 0.5 Fibonacci, for instance. That would be about 430. Very good target. And that should be like briefly answering the question whether it's still worth buying XRP. In my opinion, it is. If you want to trade with leverage, you should be a bit more cautious. It could, as mentioned, also fall down out of that pattern, but not too much. I mean, the moving average is right now around 175, and I guess it's not going to go lower than that. It might go to that point, like build up a double bottom or whatever, and then push up again. But to make it clear, this is non-financial advice. Please don't listen to me. Listen to, I don't know, whoever is authorized to tell you. With that said, let's get ahead with today's, well, sponsoring or featuring or however you want to call it. We're going to be talking about Shibadino based on Solana. This one has been around for quite some time now. I guess late 2024. I mentioned it for the first time. October 2024, I guess, or November. Well, it is around for a couple of months already, and it raised a mentionable amount of money. Like 2.4 million have been raised in its pre-sale right now, and it should go up to about 3 million, and then the pre-sale is gonna end. So once it's sold out, it's gonna end. Some people, well, have been complaining, why is the timer restarting? Whoa, it's a scam. No, it's not. It's just not based on the timer. I don't know why the timer exists, to be honest. Maybe just a bait so you get in faster. But whatever. The pre-sale is ending once the amount of 3 million USD is gonna be raised. Not earlier and not later. And once that happened, this panel is gonna disappear because you cannot buy it anymore in the pre-sale for the discounted price of 0.004. That is not gonna be possible anymore. Then you're gonna be able to buy it at the regular price on a decentralized exchange, meaning, I don't know, Uniswap or DexScreener or whatever Solana platform you prefer to use. And once that happened, you're gonna redeem your coins. The tokens are not gonna be on your wallet before the pre-sale ends. So when you invested, for example, right now, you spent your Solana, they were deducted from your wallet, and you're wondering, why didn't I receive my Dino tokens? Then calm down, please. It's normal. It is meant to be that way. You can only redeem the tokens once the pre-sale ends. Before that happens, the tokens technically do not exist. Like, I'm not that much educated about this whole pre-sale mechanics and stuff and how to set up a cryptocurrency. I cannot tell you 100%, but I believe technically these coins do not exist yet. So please stay calm, wait until the pre-sale ends, but once it ends, be in there quickly because it can spike heavily after launch and you want to be not missing that. That to be said about investing, so let's get into why Shibadino could be better, might be, like really eventually. I'm not saying it is, but eventually could be better then other pre-sales eventually could be successful. That's because of the very high liquidity at launch. This is the most important factor compared to other pre-sales. 2,222,000, 222 USDT liquidity when 3 million are on the market is insanely high. That's about a 60% liquidity of the total supply, which is insane. Others give like 10-20%, but 60% is a very good way to be safe against the rug pull. It's still not 100% guaranteed that it's not going to be rugged or that it's not going to crash after launch. I mean, that is the risk you have to take when getting into a presale, but it has become unlikely. And not only that, Shibadino also features a very neat ecosystem, and also the website honestly looks very nice. I don't even know who designed that, but looks awesome. And with that said, I'm wishing every one of you a neat and recovering weekend. See ya.